Hello everyone, it's TDS here, back with another Fortnite storyline video on the channel. Now in today's video, we are going to be going over the recently released, or actually just a couple of hours ago, released Chaos Origins outfit, its entire storyline, the entire story of the first Shadows, everything explained that was in the trailers, the blog posts, everything you need to know about the Chaos Origins skin, the upcoming other skins for the first Shadows, who the first Shadows are, what we got wrong, what we got right, everything in this video is going to just be about the first Shadows and their members, and that's why it's called The Truth of the First Shadows. And yeah, this is just a theory with everything that's going on, but it's also a bit of news, so I'd classify it mainly as a theory. But let's start off with the information that we got on the blog post right after I just asked you to do something for me, just a little favor. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want. We're very close to 210, I think. I know it's not like a massive milestone or whatever, I just think it's cool, those little increments, you know, they're nice, they're cool. And yeah, just comment below, turn on post notifications if you'd like. If you enjoyed the videos, show me you enjoyed the videos, that's all I'm asking. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the blog post info that was posted a couple of days ago, telling us about what was going to happen with the Chaos Agent sort of remastered skin. Right, let's get into it. So it says, the next of the first Shadows is Chaos Agent turned from his early evil ways. After his wicked designs were stopped and his course was set straight, sort of, the story of Chaos Origins began. Chaos Origins steps out of his lair in the October 2021 crew pack, going live for active Fortnite crew subscribers at approximately 8 PM Eastern Time on September the 30th. The last of the first Shadows, Sierra, will come forward in November's last crew pack. As a November extra, subscribed players who've assembled all 3 of the first Shadows will receive a bonus style for each. So that's all the info of like the skins and everything. That's not exactly the story, but it tells you a bit how the first before Chaos Agent was actually, well, obviously he's quit Shadow now because they said his early evil ways, he's not part of the Shadow anymore, or the Shadows group or whatever. But yeah, that's quite interesting, and here is the trailer, which actually holds a lot of secrets that no one really noticed. So here's the trailer for the skin. I get it, it looks really cool, but it seems like a very simple trailer. But I'm just going to go over it for the story of this trailer because there is a whole lot of stuff that, like, people haven't noticed in this. I mean, I haven't seen anyone talking about it anyways, but yeah, it's really interesting, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. In this trailer, the Chaos Agent has turned from his evil early ways of being a mad scientist, and he's come to hunt down Midas. I assume that, you know, from the fact that he was at one point part of Shadow and is no longer since he's turned from evil ways, we can assume he worked with Midas on the idea of the storm-breaking, you know, flooding device, and after it went wrong and Shadow no longer stood a chance, he most likely went rogue, did his experiments, failed, and now he's stopped and he wants to kill Midas for what Midas tried to do, because, I don't know, maybe he thinks the Loopers or like the Imagined Order are good people, I'm not sure, but he's definitely got the wrong opinion against Midas. Midas is a good guy, but everyone says, I mean, even Epic themselves, when describing Shadow or his business, have called it the evil ways, so I don't know, they still think Midas is evil even though he's not. But anyways, we can also see in this trailer that the Burning Wolf is still protecting Midas, meaning he's still with Shadow and the Golden Mastermind himself. But how do we know that this trailer is taking place in Season 8? Isn't, like, Midas dead or something? I thought Marigold said he vanished. Well, no. And here is exactly how I figured that out. So remember earlier how I said there was a lot of secrets in the trailer, such as a secret location as to where this was filmed, everything that took place in when it happened, how it happened, looks at the future, little teasers from Epic Games. It might not make much sense now, but I'll just explain it for you. So I've spent the past couple of hours just figuring everything out for this video, and, you know, all the theories that are in it, and the storyline, whatever. But I also spent a bit of time matching the trailer up in replay mode to the exact location, and I tried to find where it took place. I discovered that this whole setting, or film, or recording, or whatever you want to call it, is taken or filmed or record, yeah, or whatever, in this exact area, this exact room of Hydro 16. I'll match up the photo, I'll look at it. It's not the exact angle or whatever, but it's roughly this area. We know from past storyline videos and theories and whatever that Ruckus, who's a psycho soldier who planned on flooding the island, was also anti-Hydro-16, and Midas also had the idea of flooding the island, as we know from the, the 0 point sort of doomsday device breaking event, whatever you want to call it. Now, it's also been noticed by me and pretty much no one else. I don't know why no one noticed about the Ruckus storyline early on, but that was noticed by me a long time ago. And I'm not like, oh yeah, just give me all the credit or whatever, because other people have brought it up. It just didn't seem to be a very common topic, which I'm pretty confused about. It was a pretty big part of Season 5. But anyway, that's okay. So we know that Ruckus was here and he wanted to flood the island, and so did Midas. And really, if they're at the same location, and they're hiding out at the same location, trying to not be found, and they're doing something secret, do you really think that's a coincidence? No. I would say I think not, but I know not. I mean, Epic really tried to hide this one from us, and you may be asking, wait, but how does this prove that the events of the trailer take place in this season? And how does this prove that all of this is about to happen, or is going to happen, or hasn't happened yet, or, stuff about the first shadows? And you might be like, oh, yeah, I haven't proved that yet. Well, that is because in the background of the video, you can see the primal orange or corrupted areas of the cube, which has only ever been seen in this season and Season 6 of Chapter 2. Now, although in neither of these seasons Hydro has been with orange grass, it's never happened before, I believe that this is Epic Games hiding or teasing a future map change like they did in the past week or two with the destroyed and busted open by the cube version of Steamy Stacks. Now, that is the change that I was talking about that they hid. So yeah, you can see the orange grass in there. We know the primal season, obviously, it's over, but the primal stuff is starting to come back as the cube tries to send the island back in time and destroy it. But yeah, this means that Hydro-16 is going to have some new corrupted areas around it, most likely meaning the corruption and cube markings and trails from the Misty Meadows bunch of, crashed tech and stuff is most likely going to spread down the lake and to Hydro or to the other areas near it. So that's really, really cool. Maybe the lake will be orange, I don't know, but that'll be sick. Maybe it's even a bouncy lake like we saw in Season 6 or 5. I think it was actually very late in Season 5. But yeah, that's about it with the little secret change with the upcoming primal areas near Hydro-16. And, I spotted it though, so I guess it was very worth mentioning because it teases a future map change. Epic really thought that they could hide this and they were smart about it. But, yeah, as I said, I've spotted it. They can't beat me. They never will. So Epic Games challenged me, bruh, you can't hide anything. TDS will find it, TDS will make a theory on it, and I'll just do what I'm here for. Alright, let's get into the next part of the storyline video on the first shadows. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of sounded like a bad guy in a movie or film or whatever, being like, oh yeah, Epic will never beat me, Epic won't. I'm not trying to sound cocky or whatever for a sec. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. But speaking of enemies, we actually have to bring up some possible enemies of Fortnite's storyline with the trailer, and it gets real interesting. I'll be honest, we've always seen Shadow as an enemy team who came to the island or whatever, but then later we saw them own the Authority, we saw them own Dirty Docks, we saw them own Slurpy Swamp, we saw them own Steamy Stacks, and sort of as a collective group, everyone started to think, wait, maybe they're the government? It seemed to make sense at first. And you might be thinking, wait, no, they didn't own Slurpy, they didn't own Steamy, they didn't own Dirty. Yeah, they did. You can see here that Chaos Agent, who was the leader of Shadow, or Altar, or whatever you want to call them. They changed their name a couple times. But, yeah, he was running Slurpy Swamp, doing experiments. Steamy Stacks was run by Kevin Lucent Energy, who was the dark side of people. And we know that Altar was just a dark side of, ego. And Dirty Docks, you can see that Shadow, or Altar, is running it in the loading screens. And we always thought they were the bad guys up until they ran all these places. They seemed like the government of the island, and obviously, they practically owned all the trading facilities and energy buildings that ran the island. Wouldn't that make you think that they ran the island too? Well, no. Turns out it actually probably isn't them who are the government, and I'm sorry, I know this was an uncommon theory. It was actually one I came up with an idea that supported this theory a little bit ago. But yes, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I know I was, oh yeah, you're the story guy, whatever. I was wrong, okay? They're not the government. They are against the imagined order, and here's how we know that. So it's come to my attention that, well, we know this, but the imagined order owned the island. They made it, it's artificial, they own the island, so whoever was the government would probably have to have high permissions, be trusted by the IO, and have a really, really good reputation that involved nothing with messing with the 0 point. Because if you're going to mess with the 0 point, the IO won't trust you, and the IO are definitely not going to make you the government of their sort of world, whatever you want to call it. Turns out that Midas is also still with Shadow, and it turns, well, as we know, yeah, from this trailer, he's still with Shadow in Season 8, meaning Ghost, he sort of just made it to set up a fake thing. He was never actually with Ghost, and he just sort of bought them. I mean, I don't know, maybe they're the government, maybe Ghost are the government. That seems pretty likely, but we actually have no evidence quite yet. I mean, I'll think of some more soon to tell you guys, which I'm about to. But yeah, we see, Midas is still with Shadow in this season, as we see from the trailer, and he has tried to destroy our entire loop. Sorry, I was supposed to say that. So they can't be the government, because they won't be trusted by the IO to run the island, so it's not Shadow. But who can it be? Well, let's figure that out. So to figure it out, we have to go over all of the groups that we've ever seen in Fortnite. So let's just think of all of who they are, and there's actually quite a few. There is, let's just go through the list. So all of the groups that has ever been introduced into the Fortnite storyline are as follows. Vindertech, Imagined Order, the Seven, the Ice Clan, the Fire Clan, Ghost, or Ego, Shadow, or Alter, and the Last Reality, or the Sideways Reality. So let's get into why Vindertech may or may not be the government. First of all, no, they cannot be the government, because they have created the V-Bucks currency that is used outside of the loop for like funding, buying snapshots and outfits and whatever. Our country's government does not make their currency, so as you can see here, a country's government or island's government doesn't make their currency, so they're not the government of the island. I'm sorry, a lot of people think that the Vindertech are, but seriously, this proves there's no way that they are. The Imagined Order, they can't be the government, because they've also created a currency, the gold, as we can tell from, if you look at the gold, it has their marking on it. They've created a currency that is used inside the loop, and as we've said just then, a country's government doesn't create their currency. So yeah, I'm sorry, a lot of people think, oh yeah, Vindertech or Imagined Order are definitely the government. They're not. I'm sorry, but they're not. Next up, we have the Seven. As we've covered, anyone with a bad track record regarding their involvement in any way with the Imagined Order or messing with the 0 point, they can't be the government, because they wouldn't be trusted by Sloan, and we know the IO absolutely hates the Seven, so it's obviously not them. There is no way that they got permission to be the governors of the island. It's not the Seven. I know no one thought it was, but yeah, it's not. The next one is the Ice Clan. Yeah, no, they raided the island. They're definitely not the government, and the IO definitely don't trust them. The Fire Clan, or the Fire Kings, whatever. Yeah. The IO think that the Fire Clan's leader, or the prisoner of the Fire King, as we can tell from this board in the Imagined Order HQ, they think he's part of the Seven, and we know they hate that group. So, the government is not trusted, and it's not the Fire Clan. So, yeah, they can't be trusted enough to be the government, I'm sorry. Next up, we finally have an actual probable cause as to why and who the government are. Ego, or Ghost, as they're more commonly known, or the one who Midas just built to fake and whatever, but it ended up taking over by good guys who then helped out the island. Now, Ego, first of all, we know, yeah, after Midas died and stuff, they funded the buildings that were flooded, they tried to help out the island. So that's first of all saying they could be the government, and they've never made a currency, so that clears them. They're pretty good, but let's get into so many more reasons. The Order have merchandise of this side, and even though Midas was on the Ghost side in Season 2, that was before the device event, and now he's with Shadow, as we know from the trailer, so if they're the government, it makes sense. Now, although Midas was with Shadow in Season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, he's been that. He's changed fully, because we know from Season 4 in the ruins and the like, Fortnite main event. He was with the dark side, so, yeah, obviously, Ghost still existed in Season 3, they just weren't run by, you know, Midas. And they also funded the buildings when it was flooded in Season 3, they owned a funding agency in the middle of the island, and the Order obviously liked them if they have their own merchandise for Ghost. Honestly, Ghost is looking like a strong contender for being the government. Next one we have is Shadow. Yeah, we already covered that it can't be Shadow. And then the final one is the last reality, or the alien race. It is not the last reality. The Imagined Order hate them the most out of everyone, because they raided us, they crashed a massive mothership into our island, or straight into the ocean, but they damaged our island so much, they corrupted it, they destroyed it, they sent it back in time, they ripped it apart, they tried to just, like, kill everyone. It's not the last reality. The Imagined Order hate them so much. So it's looking like it's Ghost. Now, I'm pretty damn right sure that this team is the government of the island, because they haven't made any currency, they supported the funding of the island when they needed it, they had an agency in the middle of the island over the 0 Point, which is the funder of the island. The IO obviously liked them. It's really looking like it's Ghost. So, yeah. But I just want to be clear here. It could still be an unknown organization. I'm not sure, but, you know, I'm pretty sure that it's Ghost. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Everything I've gone over today proves that it practically is Ghost. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like button, subscribe to post notifications, comment below what you think of this theory. I'm Tedious. You enjoyed this video. Ghost are probably the government, and have a good one. See ya.